payday. Now what? Let me begin with my expenses. I always pay the expenses first. The mortgage is due on the 4th of the month, but I also have rent, so let me take care of that. Here's the rent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now it's time to pay my credit card bill. My credit card bill isn't due till the 15th or 16th of the month. This is the beginning of the month, but what I do is I pay twice a month because I don't want to pay interest. I only use it as a convenience. It says my account balance is $568, my statement balance is $341, my minimum due is $0. This is what the bank wants me to say, you know what, you don't have to pay right now, but they're going to charge me interest. So what I'm going to do is at the first of the month, I'm going to pay $400 as of today. And I'm going to pay my bill from my savings. And then on the 15th of the month, I'll do the exact same thing again. The next thing I'm going to pay, which I always pay at the beginning of the month, is my car insurance. Again, this is done online. I bank, my credit card, and my car insurance is all online. I have the option of paying $563 or $281, which is the minimum. I'm going to pay this because with the actual with the actual insurance, I like to pay as I go. Tomorrow is the 1st. So I'm going to pay this now, get it out of the way from my savings. Done deal. My insurance covers this beauty. And this one. And this one. And this one. It's time for me to go home, but what I do every single pay period, 1st and the 15th, is I take out $300 cash, and that goes into the drawer for my wife and I. That's an average of $20 a day for 15 days. And that's our spending money. Let's say, in other words, if we want to have lunch, if I want to have lunch with a friend or with my wife, of course, it's designed where it lasts the entire 15 days, the $300. If by the 5th of the month, we're down to $40, that means we've overspent. So we don't do that. We've been doing this for 20 years. Additionally, if we are going out to a special dinner, we're not going to take the money out of there because I don't want to always replace that money. So I'll tell my wife, or she'll tell me, hey, you know what? It's not coming from the spending money. So that money stays there. It's $20 a day average. And we use cash. That helps us because that means we don't overdo it on the credit card. So that's something for you to consider. It's called the envelope method, even though for us it's just money in the drawer.
Did you ask the wash next door if they had anything for it? Yeah. So, white shirt and gray pants.
5. I've shown you some of the things that I do per paycheck, whether it's the 1st or the 15th. This example is the 1st. Now, one of the things that I do is I do have some notes here that I want to share with you. I like to verify all of my transactions online, and I also do it with my checkbook. So right now I can tell you I had one checkbook as of yesterday, one check that was out there that hadn't cleared. And I checked this morning, it's cleared, so I don't have any pending checks out there. Verify your transactions online or with your checkbook. It's very important that you do that. That way you stay on track and there's no surprises. Here are some of the keys to success that I like to share that actually work for me. Is the first one is spend less than you earn. I'm going to make an example. Let's say you earn $1,000 per paycheck. It's just a made-up number, easy number. If you spend $800 of that and have $200 either to save or invest, that's an example of spending less than you earn. That will, over time, build wealth. Very simple example that I shared with you. If On the other hand, by the first you get paid and by the third or fourth you're broke. I've been there, and that's how I started once I got married and joined the Air Force. Make adjustments to your financial situation as needed. Some of you watching this video are doing great with your finances, and if that's the case, good for you. Some of you may not be doing great with your finances, so that's where you are going to have to make those adjustments. Think of it like this: your parents aren't going to do that for you, or they shouldn't do it for you. If you're at least 18 years of age or older, you're an adult, maybe a young adult, but you have to make those adjustments for yourself. I used to talk to people, and they used to tell me sometimes when I was a financial counselor, hey, I get paid on the first, but all of my bills, or most of my bills, are due on the first of the month, so that's when I'm broke. And then I would say, okay, well, what about the 15th of the month? And they would say, oh no, I have more money. I was like, okay, well, good. Put some of that money aside and don't spend all of it. That way, when the first comes, you have what you need, and you also have money that you saved to cover all of your expenses. One of the goals that I have with my finances is to limit the expenses that I have, or the accounts that I have, period. In the sense that when I get paid, I need to pay my cell phone, my water bill, my mortgage, but I'm trying to limit those accounts as much as possible. I don't have all these credit cards, and I have seen people who have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 credit cards or lines of credit. I want to pay myself. Don't be late with your payments. Be completely deliberate with your finances, and you will get to where you want to be. Here's an analogy that I like to share. I can't juggle, let's say, baseballs. I can't juggle two, because I've never trained, I've never spent time doing that. But I can definitely juggle finances, because that's where I'm trained in, whether it's personal experience or professional. When I was a financial counselor, I know how to juggle many accounts, and I know how to adjust when needed. A lot of the money that I like to pay goes towards this house, this mortgage here. But when something happens, whether it's a car emergency travel, we want to upgrade the carpet, we want to do this or do that, or life happening, I adjust my accounts as needed. So that means I won't pay as much on the principal of the mortgage. Juggle. One of the things that I like, another thing, is now or later. That's a question. Now or later, what? If I have something that I have to do, in most cases, I want to knock that out immediately or as soon as possible. That way it's done, and I don't have to worry about that. Because when people procrastinate, sometimes it's sloppy or it doesn't happen, and that creates stress. Think of that connection. I don't like stress, but stress is part of life. I'm going to limit the amount of stress in my life by these small little stressors that happen, and I'm going to knock them out as soon as possible. When you get paid, payday, does that create excitement or stress? If for some reason you are stressed when it's payday, then that could tell you that you may have to change something with your finances. Or if you're excited because it's payday, at the same time, you may have to change your finances in a certain way. Let me give you an example. If you can't wait for payday, let's say it's 2-3 days away, and you can't wait for payday to come, then you may be doing something wrong, because maybe all you want is a combo at a restaurant, but you don't have the money until payday. Then that tells me that you may be doing something wrong, and I've been there myself. I like to share examples. A lot of them are personal examples, and I will tell you that I have been there before on the negative side. I'm going to leave you with a very powerful question. Do you spend more time on social media than you do with your finances? Or you can fill in that blank with whatever you want. Do you spend more time on blank, you fill that in, than you do with your finances? If the answer is yes, then how do you expect to get to where your financial goals are? I'm not saying all of you who are watching this video that's the case. It's just, an observation that I see with certain people, where they spend so much time on Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or Twitter, whatever, you can go forth, continuing, but it's not something that, where do you spend your time doing? So that's what this video was about. It's payday, now what? What are your financial goals? And make sure you have fun as well. So In the last 3 videos that I've made, I've talked about finding shirts at thrift shops. Here is another one. This is a Nike Air Force Falcons. It's a medium. I bought it for either $2.50 or $3. I don't remember because I've had this for over a year and a half, and I have 4 of them. They're all different. Some of them say AF here. Nike Dry Fit. I'm a big Nike fan. Bought it at a thrift shop. Today is Tuesday. It's a day off for me. I did yard work, and my wife and I went out to lunch, and we went to thrift shops, but we struck out. We didn't find anything. That's how it happens sometimes. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Be proactive with your finances. You have a great day. Molly, come over here. Come on.